Hey guys, this is illusionist Jason Bishop. I am back with another piece of magic. In this case, we have Yann Frisch. He's a French magician who won at F.I.S.M in 2012, both first place in Parlour Magic as well as the Close-Up Grand Prix, actually, which is a pretty big deal. His signature routine is called ball tasse, which is a mashing of words, like a portmanteau of the French words for ball and cup. It's definitely a unique magic performance that I personally really enjoyed watching. So before we get started, I've been a professional illusionist since Tobey Maguire was the only Spider-Man. I've performed across the United States, including multiple runs at the Magic Castle in Hollywood, California, been featured on national and international TV, and had a sold-out run in New York City. And now in between shows, rehearsal, traveling, and working on new magic, and wondering if I should even care what Wordle is, I pull up videos like this and give you some thoughts on them as a professional illusionist. In 2012, video of this performance absolutely blew up online, and I think you'll see why very, very quickly.
Yann Frisch.
So that is Yann Frisch's routine ball test. Obviously, it's a great piece of magic. He's using really simple props. At the core of this routine, he has a ball, a cup, a pitcher, and some water. And then from there, magical things happen. I've seldom seen a magician whose character development, like who he's portraying on stage, was so integral to how he accomplishes his magic. He actually appears to be portraying somebody who's a little bit mentally disturbed. In the very beginning, you see him pouring the water, and in just less than a minute there, you can see that his character has a number of facial tics and body tics and things like that. So there's definitely something askew about this person. Now, it turns out through the progress of the routine, we see that he's sort of haunted and vexed by this red ball that keeps coming back. And there are several routines like this. You have Cardini, who's a really great one, who's admired by, a great deal of magicians and manipulators. Cardini played this slightly tipsy gentleman. He had the whole tuxedo look and a monocle and all this kind of thing. And he was just a great, great manipulator. But his character, like I said, was slightly tipsy, and so cigarettes and things like that, cards would appear, and they would sort of haunt him and vex him, like I said, and he'd throw them away. And in the process of throwing them away, another set of cards would appear, and he'd throw that away, and a cigarette would appear and, disappear and not be in the places that he expected. That's a different type of magic. A lot of the magic that we see, we consider that the magician is in control of what's happening, that they have the power to make these things happen. In the case of Yann Frisch, Cardini, and a few other very good magicians, they're not in control of what's happening. The thing is happening to them. Now, the crazy thing about that, though, is that people like Yann Frisch and Cardini have an elevated skill level. So although they don't look like they're in control of what's happening, they're really in control of what's happening, and they're doing it at a higher skill level than the average magician. And it's interesting for me to think about the fact that in researching him, I watched quite a few different videos. There is a progression. There's actually a video of him from Le Plus Grand Cabaret du Monde where he's wearing more of a jacket, like a black jacket. His hair is a bit spiky. It's not quite as long as it appears in here, and it's a little bit funky. The point that I'm getting at is the core routine, his movements are almost identical to here, but the way that he looks is actually quite different. And I think he evolved into a different character. The previous character was more of this sort of, he appeared to be almost more like a yuppie kind of a person, like a young professional as such. And I think that's interesting because in magic, we get so many people above us when we start out that say, oh, you need to get a tuxedo, you need to have a suit. And I know I had that, tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of times when I was, a young magician starting out, and probably there were 4 or 5 or 6 different iterations of me with a tuxedo and that kind of thing. And I think most young magicians go through that because they just don't know what to do themselves. But as you gain more confidence, your character starts to change to what you're comfortable with, or how you see yourself, or how you want to see yourself. I think it's also a great ending. You see the routine progress throughout. The guy just wants water at the very beginning, which is really interesting because that is about as simple of a storyline, plot line as you can get. It's elemental. Obviously, water is one of the elements. It's also, about life. You cannot live without water as such. So it's very, very simple universal threads right there. He's pouring the water. He's just trying, he has this simple goal, get a cup of water, and he can't achieve that goal. He keeps being haunted by this little ball that, vexes him, and it's a red ball, which of course is, the color of the devil as such. Did he think that? Did he want that? Well, would a yellow ball play as well as a red ball does? Would a blue ball play as well as a red ball does? Really, I don't think so, frankly. So we look at red and we think certain things right away. Fire, stop, devil, danger. But at the end, he finally does get what he wants. He gets that cup of water, and it just completely splashes him in the face. So that's also kind of a big ending. He's doing a close-up magic, and in close-up magic, sometimes it's harder to get a bigger ending. So he has this big and literally splashy ending. His ending, for such a sort of indie type of a routine, he actually literally has a splashy ending. He gets splashed in the face with this water, and it's such a great ending. Sometimes with the ending of a routine, you want to get that punctuation point there to just say, that's it, it's over, everybody knows, it's clear. And that's what he does at the end there. And it's a great different beat. He gets what he wants, but it's horrible. Nothing works out for this poor guy. It doesn't even work out in the end when he finally gets what he wants. I remember when this blew up in 2012. It's such a phenomenal piece of magic, and I'm glad I got to share it with you guys, although I bet most of you have seen this because, you know, it just was such a successful piece of magic online and such a standout piece of magic that it's the kind of thing that you want to share with your friends, that kind of a thing. So remember, if you want to get into magic or you need some new magic, there's a link below to the online magic shop Vanishing Ink. This is an affiliate link, so it does help the channel if you use it, and of course I appreciate that. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, please destroy the like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when new videos are released, and we'll see you in the next one.